Hello, today is Sunday, April 19th, 2026, and this is episode number 170. You can find related links there on the screen at augforums.com/episode 170. And it's just me today, but I got access to the AI assistant in Acumatica 2026 R1 just last week. I think I did 2 chats with it so far, very, very light, and I figured it'd be kind of fun to tinker with it on a live episode since I really haven't done anything with it yet. We have seen it demoed the last couple years at Summit. I believe it's been 2 summits in a row and looks pretty interesting, but this is the first time I've been able to actually get my hands on it. And so, yeah, let's just dive right in and see what we've got with this new AI assistant. Let's go ahead and get this up on the screen here. Now, it did take me a little bit to get access to it. Normally, I just work off of a local host test environment. But with the AI assistant, excuse me, I think because it burns LLM tokens on the back end, you do need to be in a licensed environment. So I just got access to that last week. And you can see here it is in the upper right-hand corner. Maybe let me zoom in a little bit. Let's try something like that. You can see AI assistant right there. Now, before it was available, there were a couple things I had to do. First, I had to go in here to enable disable features. And I had to check off the AI assistant. Kind of interesting that it's in the experimental features. I could see what that says. Yeah, so I guess it's still, I don't know if that's the same thing as beta, not sure, but that's where you enable it globally. Then you go into users and you have to turn it on for individual users. So if I pull up my user here, you'll see there it is, AI assistant user. So I had to enable that role. Otherwise, it was not appearing on the screen for me. Well, once I did those 2 things, I then get AI assistant up here and we can click it. And what it looks like it does is, at least for now, it shows me the last thing that I was chatting with it. And if you click on the chats up here, here's the 2 things that I've done. The first thing that I did was just click on one of the options that it suggested. So this was the first chat. And I guess we can't see. It looks like I was smart and I typed list 10 most recent open invoices, but actually I wasn't smart. It was just a new chat. This is the first thing I saw. And that was the first option it gave me. It just has an example, list 10 most recent open invoices. So I just clicked on that to see what would happen. Yeah, this is what it looks like right out of the box. And then every new chat that you do, it looks like becomes just part of your history and the AI assistant, which to me is very similar to how ChatGPT or Claude works. You just, everything's in your chat. Looks like you can go and make it like a floating window so you can drag it around if you want. I think I prefer anchoring it to the right-hand side, at least for now. It doesn't look like I can resize it, but yeah, let's start from the top. So yeah, let's just start with a new thread and let's try that list 10 most recent open invoices. And while it's thinking, I'm going to grab my water because I forgot to grab that. So you can see it's still thinking. And this was my experience the first time I used it as well. Not as fast as ChatGPT, but probably that's because it's feeding it a lot of context. It's actually having to read the data, but I don't really know yet. So let's just tinker with it and see what we can learn. So this is interesting. It does come back with the 10 most recent open invoices. Now, what did I ask? I did ask for open invoices, I guess. Sorted by date. So that's good. And I do have links. Let's make sure the link works. Well, looks like the link's not smart yet, so I don't know why that's a hyperlink, but it doesn't do anything. We are dealing with an experimental feature, so I'm expecting to encounter a lot of holes in it or unexpected things. So it does give me a table. Then it comes back with, let's see, the overdue ones. Now this is something I've been wondering. So this, I guess the first thing that I will tinker with, it gives me a chart, and this is interesting. It shows me the sources. So it's pulling it from customer details, type INV, status N. So let's do the first thing. Let's do here. Let's take a look at customer details. Now let's see if it's a regular generic inquiry. I'm not sure. Looks like it is. So let's take a look at this. Now, what I was trying to see in here is I thought there was a checkbox that tells you whether or not you're going to expose it to the AI assistant. Let's flip over here to the release notes. So that's just one thing. If I come up to the top, most of the release notes are about the AI Studio. The AI Studio is more about designing a workflow that you're going to hand off to the LLM and come back with. The AI Assistant just has one point here. So let's take a look at that. It does mention the AI Assistant feature. We already looked at that on the Enable Disable Features screen. It is subject to licensing. I don't know how much it costs yet. I haven't looked at the price list to figure that out. I'm hoping they're not marking it up too much, because to me, this is just LLM functionality. I don't know that. I still haven't seen if Acumatica really like added a ton of value here, but looks like you do have to pay extra for it. Then, yeah, this part right here. So you control which generic inquiries the AI assistant uses and how those inquiries are described in business language that's familiar in your company. So I thought I had seen this. There it is right there. So expose the AI assistant on the interface options. Let's see if we can find that. Oh, maybe it's only in the new UI. Okay, let's convert over to the modern UI. And maybe let's refresh the page here. Try that again. Try a hard refresh using Control F on the keyboard. Sometimes you have to, sometimes I've done this, right click and duplicate tab. I thought we should have a tab called interface options. So what am I missing here? Maybe that option doesn't work. So let's just go to the sitemap. Look for the generic inquiry screen. Yeah, looks like that option doesn't work. So let's just go with modern here. Close that down, refresh. Okay, there we go. So yeah, it looks like it's only available in the modern UI. There's interface options, and there it is, exposed to AI assistant. So it'd be interesting to see here how many of the out-of-the-box generic inquiries have that exposed to AI assistant box checked. So let's take a look at that data. Let's see, expose mobile app via OData. There we go. Exposed to AI assistant. So let's take a look at that. Looks like there's quite a few. And oh, cool. Yeah, last I had looked at this, I think in like a beta, there weren't many that had the description populated, and now there are quite a few. So what do we got? We got 32 total. And out of those 32, we got 14, 14 of them have this AI description populated, so that's interesting. And then let's also check, see which one were we using here. This used the AR0010DB. Come back and look at this. Oh, I guess I don't have a screen name in here. Let's just go with the description. So customer details, what it was called. Customer details right here. And let's see if there we go. So yeah, there is a description, shows only customer documents that have open balance, unpaid, etc. Can provide information about a customer balance and overdue documents, unapplied payments, prepayments, refunds have open status. Okay. So yeah, that's really interesting. So in theory, it's this description right here, which can also be found on the generic inquiry itself somewhere. I think it's its own tab. Here we go. AI description. Yeah, here's the description that in theory, the AI assistant uses to decide if it's going to go out and reach for this particular generic inquiry. So it's two things. One is on the interface options, checking exposed to AI assistant. Otherwise, it doesn't see it. But then secondly, and I think more importantly, populating something meaningful in this AI description. This is something I'm still trying to learn. You know, how do you essentially prompt? I think this is like a prompt. You know, I would either type this into the AI manually, or I think it's sort of like a tool concept that a lot of these AI LLMs are coming out with, like Claude has a tool concept where you define tools that it can go out and reach for and use when it's doing stuff. So yeah, to me, this is the part I'm most interested in, is how to put in meaningful text here that causes the AI to go use this particular generic inquiry when it makes sense. Okay, so that's interesting. So it shows us the source. Now it's also interesting, it kind of, in typical AI fashion, like it's sort of being overly helpful here, right? Like I just ask it, list 10 most recent open invoices. It comes back here, the 10 most recent open invoices, sorted by date, gives me a table. And then it keeps going. Several of these invoices are overdue, with the oldest dating back to 2022. You can click on any reference number to view the full invoice details. I didn't ask for that, but it thought I might want that. See if this hyperlink works. Nope, that one doesn't work. All right. Oh, and I guess that's all it did. Didn't do any more. Okay. So what happens if I do view chart? One thing I've been wondering is if the chart that it generates is something that you can add to a dashboard. And if so, how does it come up with the code for that? Looks like it's doing something. Okay. So it DB0044. Oh, it looks like did it create a new dashboard? Interesting. Let's find out. Ooh, also hadn't noticed that before. So when I'm searching for dashboards, there's a classic dashboard screen and a new dashboard screen. Ooh, interesting. Haven't looked at that yet. Oh yeah, look at that. So it actually creates on the fly a new dashboard screen when you click that view dashboard. That's interesting. So that's good to be aware of. If you keep clicking that, you're going to clutter up your dashboard area. So you're going to want to be aware of that. Huh. Yeah, then you start to wonder, oh, do you need the right permissions to be able to click that view dashboard? I don't think I'm going to look at that right now, but that's something I would want to look into. All right, so it does create its own dashboard. Then one thing I've really been curious about is when it does this, how does it come up with the code? So let's take a look at this widget here. So it's using that base generic inquiry that it told us about. Interesting. It does a filter. And yeah, so this is good. I thought that it might just be sort of on the fly generating a chart. And then what if I want to reuse that chart? Do I have to go through the AI assistant again? It looks like the answer is no. It is just building a chart on the fly, but it's using the regular dashboard engine populating the values. So now this thing is a standalone dashboard that does not require the AI assistant anymore. I like that. I like that a lot. So now this is something that I could go and continue to use. Like if I like this dashboard, let's see, I forget, is there an easy way to move this? I still don't think I have a good way to move this to another dashboard. So that is kind of concerning. Let's see. Maybe I'm missing that. I've always wanted a way to move it to another dashboard easily. And I think that becomes even more important now that it's just firing up a temporary dashboard. I'm going to want a way to get my widget onto an existing dashboard. Because, like, for example, if I come back to the AI assistant and I ask it for something else, what's the total OpenAR balance? Let's see if it adds a widget to this existing dashboard. If it creates a brand new dashboard, let's see what happens. Assuming it creates a chart at all. Hopefully it does. Let's see. I do like that it's giving us updates about what it's working on. So it's not just spinning without any feedback. I like that. Well done there, Acumatica. And I guess I didn't get a chart here. Let's see. Let's try this one then. Break down OpenAR by document type. Ooh, did that change? I hadn't been paying attention to that. If these options that it's giving me are different as I'm drilling down the chat and going back and forth, is it giving me different kind of next step options? I haven't tried that yet. Or sorry, I haven't paid attention to that yet. Yeah, I think it is. All right, so it's still just giving it to me in a table format when it comes back. Looks like I also have a feedback option if I were to click. Okay, interesting. If I click thumbs down, I don't know if that actually does anything. Which customers can you show this information as a chart? And I specifically want it as a, is there a way to, like, yeah, it's just temporarily move it, stacked bar chart. It did this before too. It says checking validity of the previously selected GI. I wonder why that step is needed. It's kind of interesting. Let's go with 1. So that's interesting. It gives me an option to either do it as a dashboard, export to Excel, or Acumatica reports. Be interesting to see what happens if I do option 3, if it's going to build a report. Ooh, this gets really interesting. Okay, it just shows me how to do it. Weird. It tells me how to build the dashboard widget, but it doesn't build it for me, even though before it did that for me. Interesting. Let me shut off the air real quick. Okay. And since it's just a regular chat window, I think I'm probably going to find myself mostly dictating like I've been doing with ChatGPT and Claude. So I've been using this app called Whisper for a few months now, and I really like it. So I just have a keyboard shortcut. Previously, you created a chart for me, then I clicked the View Chart button, and it automatically added it to an Acumatica dashboard. Can you do that same thing again for this new dashboard widget request? Yeah, so I've been loving this Whisper app. You see it all automatically puts in punctuation, new sentences, etc. Allows you to just say a whole bunch of stuff, and it all comes out really nicely formatted. If you're interested in that voice dictation, I'm really, really enjoying it. It just works well, and I've been trusting it. You can check out ogforums.com/whisper. I will put that in the episode notes in case you're interested in that. If you use my link here, you'll get a month free, and you'll also give me a month free, so you can help me out and get a month free yourself. Get my things I want to post links to Notepad set up. All right, so I'll post a link to the Whisper voice dictation that I'm using. Let's see, what did it come back with? Interesting. I don't actually have the ability to create charts or create dashboard widgets directly. So that makes me wonder if this 10 most recent open invoices was already an existing dashboard that it pulled from. And we should be able to find that out by, oh, it even has a new data access class, dashboard v2. Let's take a look at this. Let's look at the create date on that dashboard. 10 most recent invoices. Now I created it today. Huh. So there's a little bit of a disconnect. It looks like it created a dashboard widget, but it doesn't think it has the ability to do that. Well, let's see how smart this thing can be. So far, not that smart. I know that you have the capability to create a chart because you created a new dashboard. Oh, I think I'm going to say widget. Dashboard widget. Because you just created a new dashboard called this. Oops. Which I confirm by checking the create date, which indeed is today's date, showing you created it today. So how did you do that if you don't think you have that capability? Oh, bummer. My Whisper app normally. This does not happen very often with the Whisper app. I'm really happy with it, but sometimes you have to go pull up the actual app and copy and paste it. All right, let's see what it thinks about that. And I put backticks, which is the thing that's above the tab key, at least on a Windows keyboard. That's what I found Claude likes when you're telling it something that's specific, either code or an exact name. And you can see, I think it changed. Yeah, it changed the font here. It might be hard to see that, but that does look like a different font to me. Maybe not. Let's see. It looks at the capital M. That looks like a different font to me, but just barely. I guess we could check that later. Okay. You're absolutely right. Apologize for the confusion. I've rerun the query for OpenAR by, you should now see a view chart button. Okay, I don't see the view chart button. Now let's see if we can do what we do with ChatGPT. And paste in a screenshot. See a view chart button. Oh. Nope, doesn't look like I can paste in a screenshot. I also don't know what this is using on the back end. Let's see, maybe this will tell us. I assume it's using some LLM on the back end, but I don't know which one. I don't know how that works. Interesting. Let's try copying and pasting the text. I'm copying and pasting the text. I don't see a way to paste in a screenshot to this chat window. Here is all the text that I see in your response. Oh, that's the second time Whisper hasn't worked. Weird. I have not been having that experience. I'm wondering if it's the chat window specifically. Oh, weird. All right, let's try copying and pasting that text again. Also, I'm trying like the shift enter and it doesn't seem to be giving me a new line. Huh. Alt enter? Huh. I like being able to do a carriage return. Shift enter normally does that for me. Regular enter just basically presses the button that sends the chat back. Oh, and this is not, I guess it didn't copy it. Oops, it didn't copy the text. Copy. Sorry, here is the text. Oh, it just doesn't, interesting. I can't copy the text from its response. Interesting. I don't know why. Okay, so hopefully they'll work that thing out where we can force it to show a view chart button. Maybe I can just ask, can give me a view chart button. Okay. So see the text, it is a little bit different, capital C compared to the regular capital C. So yeah, it is a slightly different font when you put something within backticks. Claude behaves the same way. Just try it one more time. But it looks like it does have the ability to do it. So it did create a chart, and that's pretty cool. I didn't know, I wasn't for sure if it was actually building a regular Acumatica dashboard chart. It looks like it is. Okay. So that's interesting. So I just tried using the 10 most recent open invoices list just as a starting point, since that was the first thing suggested with the button there. I did a Power BI workshop in Denver, Colorado last week, and I had just gotten access to this that day, hadn't used it. And so I just told, there were about, I think 8 people came, and someone just suggested something to try asking it. And they said, tell me all orders that have finished goods available. So I tried this last week, and let's see. I searched several data sources, but couldn't find one that directly shows orders combined with inventory availability information. Now, so this is interesting. Yeah, let's piggyback off of this one from last week, since that was a real world suggestion by someone in the Power BI workshop in Denver. So it looks for data sources, couldn't find one, but then it goes out and looks for data access classes, it looks like. So that's interesting. Could you verify what you mean? Sales orders were, yeah, okay. So let's see if we can make this do something in real time. So let's see, finished goods available. let's go take an existing generic inquiry. I don't think I have any sales order lines. Maybe I'll just build one on the fly here. Yeah, let's just build it on the fly. This would be a real good test. This is brand new, hasn't been used yet. And we'll see if we can get the AI assistant to see it. Okay, sales order lines. Maybe I have to hit the plus button. Okay, there we go. SO line. Let's grab SO order as well. Do a left join. Let's see, how are we going to show some availability information? Just grab some fields in here first. All right, so we've got, maybe we can do the open quantity. Oh, here we go. Available. So first, let's do the quantity open. Then let's do the available line quantity. I'll do hard available. And let's see, what did we specifically ask it? We asked it finished goods available. So let's make sure we tell it if something is a finished good. So we need to grab the item type here. Let's see. All right, item type. All right, there we go. So we got type finished good. Hopefully that's enough. Looks like the quantity available, does it pull something? Yeah, that field might be a useless field. Let's just hard code something. I'm going to be lazy here. Let's just put in like a 5. And then we'll call it quantity available. And I think there's even an AI description field in here, if I remember right. Yeah, description for AI. So I wonder if by default it uses the caption. Let's try it without the description for AI first. All right, so now we have finished goods that show quantity available, and we haven't exposed it to the AI yet. So let's try this in pieces. So let's try this first. Tell me orders that have finished goods available. It's also interesting that it's doing screen access checks to make sure that you have access. So not only is it exposed to the AI assistant, I'm assuming it's making sure that this specific user has security permissions, which makes sense. Otherwise, you'd be able to use the AI assistant to kind of circumvent the regular Acumatica security. So it makes sense to me why this has taken over a year to actually launch, because there's a lot that they would have had to build in here. I'm very curious if anyone knows what LLM it's using on the back end. I assume it's got to be using something, but I don't know. See, while that's running, let's see if the release notes tell us anything. Yeah, here's the part about the chart. It mentions it for the first follow-up prompt. Okay. So maybe it only does the chart for the first follow-up prompt. Interesting. Maybe it's to reduce the amount of dashboards that's creating on the fly. So we'll have to try it again. Yeah, we'll try it again. All right, still can't find it. That's fine. That's what I expected. Now let's come in, layer in to see, at what step we can actually trigger it to use our new generic inquiry here. So let's just turn it on without a description. Oh, what happened? Need to publish it. Okay, publish it to the UI. That's fine. Expose, save. Now let's try that again. So my goal here in this chat is to eventually get it to pull the data from my new generic inquiry. Just curious to see what the bare minimum is that I have to do to get it to see it. And then once we get to trigger, let's do a new chat and see if it will do what the release notes are saying, which is that it's only going to give us the view chart button on the first response. So we'll open up a new chat once we can get this to trigger. And when I see that screen access, it makes me wonder if the row level security kicks in as well. That'd be fun to test. But we're already 40 minutes in. Let's just keep tinkering. Just thought it'd be fun to unbox this live. Yeah, just thought it'd be fun. Okay, still can't find it. All right. I'm not super surprised. I guess part of me is wondering is if this stuff gets cached or if I really am going to be able to make a change, reprompt it, and have it find it. So let's find out. So now let's give it an AI description. And I'm going to say sales orders. Let's, I guess, follow. I'm tempted to follow some examples. Shows. It all starts with shows. I could follow that example. shows all sales orders with their sales order lines and whether each item on a line is a finished good or not. It also shows inventory availability on a line-by-line basis. All right, see if that's enough to get it to trigger. Yeah, also interesting, it gives me a suggestion. Ask your Acumatica administrator to create a generic inquiry that joins order and inventory data. Check directly in Acumatica using sales order screen. Interesting. Also interesting, the more the security thing is happening, like it does take a while for it to do that. All right, so still not finding it. I created a generic inquiry and updated the AI description tab. I also exposed it to AI. Will you see it immediately, or are the generic inquiries somehow cached on a schedule? Yeah, see how long the security part takes to kick in? And that could just be the nature of how it works. I mean, just AI in general. I don't know. Might not be an Acumatica thing. Now, I do fully recognize that there's a huge difference between a cool demo that you can do in ChatGPT or Claude versus an AI assistant that has secure access to enterprise data. Those are two very, very different things. Okay, changes are available immediately, it says. There's no caching or scheduled refresh. Expose to AI, becomes searchable right away. And I guess that makes sense based on how slow it is, that it is searching every time. Orders, finished goods available. All right, so let's just take one of its examples that it's searching for and use that. Let's see what happens. It's interesting. It says, I searched for a new GI using several different terms. I wonder if these have to be exact terms. I wonder how, yeah, I don't know. All right, let's see what happens here. This is published. I do have access to it. Let's make sure. Yeah, I've got access to it. See what happens. Yeah, that security part really does seem to be the bulk of what it's doing. Hey, Arlene's on. Arlene, I'll drop the URL in the chat in case you want to jump on and geek out with me. It looks like you've already had some experience with this. You are ahead of the unboxing, or ahead of my unboxing. So it actually did the same search: orders, finished goods, available inventory, and orders, finished goods, available inventory. I guess slightly different allocation. All right, see if I can tell it. The generic inquiry that I created is called I'm in trouble with my copy and paste in here. Huh, okay, that worked. It's called sales order lines, and the AI description is called See if that helps it to find it. Oh, ITA, cool. That was interesting. Interesting. Curious, Arlene, if it was a new generic inquiry or an existing one. Let's see. Try multiple searches using your exact GI name and AI description terms, but the system still isn't finding your sales order lines inquiry. Huh. Search is attempted. Finished goods available inventory. Please double check. Expose, yes. Save after. Yes. Yeah. All right, let's see here. Oh, maybe I messed up on the publish. Aha, there's no screen ID. Okay, my bad. Let's try publishing again. All right, now we got a screen ID. Okay. Looks like I didn't have a screen ID yet. Can you try it again, please? Let's see what happens now. There's also definitely a thing that I've found with AI, with ChatGPT, Claude specifically. That's all I've been using so far. Gemini a tiny bit, but I think they call it the context window. Like once you've chatted for too long with it, it starts to go off the rails. So might be at the point here where this doesn't work. I think I'm just going to start a new chat, see what happens. Well, okay. I'll do one more thing. I'll give it the screen ID. Then we'll try a new chat. All right, so when Arlene queried, she didn't give it anything special to look at other than some of the default queries. Then I enabled another query that had more detail. When I did that, I got new results. Okay, so you're able to get it to see something new. I didn't look into it, but I think it's still rational. So I was really testing the out-of-the-box behavior, yeah. Yeah, it probably makes a lot more sense to do more of a high level pass at the out of the box behavior. My personality is more to dive into the nooks and crannies right off the bat. Just different ways of tinkering, I guess. Sometimes a browser refresh. Interesting. Okay, well, let's try that. Let's try that idea. Let's log out and log back in, see what happens. And I'm going to try a new chat, and let's do the same prompt. I'm going to put a please in there. Please tell me. Can I rename? It looks like I can't rename my chats. Okay. Not yet. Version 1, a lot of things that I'm sure they'll be introducing as time goes on. It does say that the screen access check has completed. So it's almost like that's just the last status it gave. It doesn't seem to me that it's really taking that long to check security. Just the last status it showed, and now it's doing its thing. That's my assumption, at least. I also wonder, let's see what happens if I click around. If I were to go somewhere else. I guess this always stays up. So I guess I could pop it down and then browse around. I don't have to stare at the screen, I assume. If I were to do some browsing, do I get prompted when it's done? I'll have to play with that. Let's see. Oh, still can't do it. All right. Just ask if it can see this generic inquiry. Can you see my new generic inquiry with screen ID? It's still not working. I have not had problems with Whisper except in this little chat window. I don't know what's going on here. You can see here I've been using Whisper for 15 weeks, over 100,000 words, and 110 words per minute, which is way faster than I can type. And more, it's just been a pleasant experience. That's been my favorite thing about it. Interesting. Has not been able to find it yet. Oh, now it's telling me there could be an indexing delay. Okay. Well, I think I've tried enough on that one. Just make sure, yeah, still had exposed to AI assistant checked, AI description. Okay. All right, well, let's try some other things. Let's go back to see if that show chart button mentioned. So let's see, Arlene, what did you check? You checked profitability. Yeah. Find the most profitable customer. All right, let's see what happens there. Let's try that. Can you find my most profitable customer? So assuming I get, let's see if it can work on its own. Let's see if I get some kind of notification when it's done. But I want to check what was my dashboard called? Curious to see if we can copy a widget from a dashboard to another dashboard now. Let's see if that functionality is there. Because if not, this whole generating a dashboard isn't that useful to me if I have to essentially go rebuild it on the dashboard that I want it on. Let's try this one. Yeah, see, I can't paste from one dashboard to another. So even though it can build it, I think that's great. But how do I get it to the dashboard that I want it on? I don't know. Looks like I didn't get notified when it's done, but I do like that I can collapse it and then just check on it periodically to see if it's done. I can't find profitability. Yeah, Arlene, if you have an example prompt that worked for you, maybe there's just something going on in my environment. I don't know. Let's try. So it shows me the 10 most recent open invoices. Can it show me what else does it have exposed? Let's see. Customer documents, unpaid. Is there anything with profitability in it? Profit. Oh, I didn't have anything that even had the word profit in it. So I guess that wasn't too surprising. Purchase orders, purchasing status. All right, let's try something with purchase orders. Can you please show me my most expensive open purchase orders? Please show me my 5 most expensive open purchase orders. See what happens there. Back to this dashboard gripe here. I want to see if the view chart button shows up again, and then if it creates another dashboard. If that's the case, and since we don't have that copy widget between dashboards, I would love to be able to just have like a personal dashboard, or maybe probably not my home page. I still would like the idea of having a personal dashboard anyways. And then it'd be nice if all the widgets just added to that. But yeah, even then, I'm still not super thrilled about that because I can't copy and paste it to another dashboard. Let's see where that's at on the feedback. Let's see if I can find that. Community.acumatica.com. Product ideas. Oh, maybe I'm wrong on this. So here was the idea from 7 years ago that they delivered, where we can copy and paste dashboard widgets. And it looks like Jeremy is saying you can copy across dashboards as long as you open the dashboard you want to copy the widget to in the same tab. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Let's try that. Oh, still can't find. Something's got, I don't know what's up here. I search is only returned. Maybe I'm having a permissions problem. Let's see. Is my user... I'm administrator. Huh. Interesting. And it did come back with this one. All right, well, we'll keep playing with that. But on my dashboard widget complaint, let's see if So if I paste in the same tab, Jeremy says, not working for me. Maybe it doesn't work in Firefox? Bummer. So yeah, it would be nice to copy across. Maybe there's a way to do it. Maybe it works in Chrome or something. I don't know. But let's see if we can get something to work here. Let's see. Show me. I'll just go with what it's suggesting. Open vendor bills. Get item URL. This seems to show that it made some progress. If this works, and then I'll do a little further testing of, okay, this did work. And it did the chart. So okay, it did say it only does it the first time. Okay. So then let's see if it creates a new dashboard. Yeah, it does. Not a big fan of that, but I do like that it designs its own dashboard. I am happy with that. Then it also mentioned Excel export and report designer earlier. Can you show me the data in an Excel export? Nope. Can you show me the data in report designer? Ooh, Arlene thinks there's a role called prompt engineer. We'll check. Aha. LLM prompt engineer. I did not know that. I wouldn't think that'd be needed for chatting with it because I want everyone to be able to chat with it to get this stuff. But yeah, I don't even know what that is. Interesting. Huh. PDF annotator. What other interesting things in here? Contains LLM. Does it give us the out-of-the-box roles in here? Let's see. Not sure. Yeah, let's see if we notice that. Do something different. Yeah, so it's not doing an export. It's not doing a report designer. I was trying that out because One of these ones mentioned that. One of these first two I did. I don't remember where I saw it now. All right, well, at least we got another chart to generate, and it again is nice that it is building a chart. I wonder if I can try prompting it again. So we know that it worked. Now, can I control what the chart looks like? Let's see. Can you show me open vendor bills as a stacked bar chart and only include purchase orders that are greater than $1,000. Let's see what happens there. See, chart visualization limitation. I'm a data query assistant. I can't retrieve and present data I can in tables, but I can't generate visual charts like stack bar charts. Yeah, so it's confused again. Thinks it can't do it. But I know you can. You can do this. You already did it in a previous chat. Looking on my other screen to see if I can figure out what the LLM prompt engineer security role does. No luck on that yet. So yeah, I'm not sure what that does yet. Oh, maybe we'll see it in the release notes. Let's try that. Here. Nope. It's also possible it's just kind of out there and not doing anything yet. Yeah, I don't know what it does. Also not sure if the AI assistant can access the wiki. That would be pretty interesting. We can try that as well. I think I'm running out of steam on its data access capabilities, at least for today. Oh, it did do something. Let's see. And it did try to create a chart again, I think. But I don't have a view chart button. Interesting. Ah, there we go. Add pivot to dashboard. Okay. It even gives me pivot tables. That's nice. But yeah, it definitely needed some extra encouragement to create the chart because it didn't think that it could. But that's okay. We're just working through the kinks here. I'm curious to see if I view the chart. Where was the view chart? Here we go, view chart. See if it puts in that $1,000 filter. Widget properties, column, vendor details, page reload. It didn't. Yeah, it wasn't smart enough to put in that $1,000 filter. So I am not super thrilled with this from a data analytics perspective yet. Not even close. Much more like I've still been just not really sure. Well, actually, no, I'm more confident in that. I don't think that ERP players are going to do well with chat analysis. And the reason has more to do with the data, how data is structured in the ERP system. An ERP system is a normalized database, which is designed for getting data in. It's not like a data warehouse with a schema on top of it, like you would do in something like Power BI. And for that reason, I don't think that the ERP databases make sense for AI assistants when it comes to data analysis. That's my conjecture, at least. So I'm not super surprised by this, although this is the initial version. I don't think that's the real issue going on. Anyways, so I wasn't really enthusiastic about this AI assistant from a, hey, create me interesting data things going into it. So I think for both those reasons that I'm running into some just initial friction, I'm kind of out of steam on caring about that. But let's come back here and let's ask it. Like, one thing I'm wondering is, what LLM are you using on the back end? See if it knows some stuff like that. Okay, so it is Claude. And you know what? Mitten might have mentioned that in the keynote. Let me just cross-reference that with my keynote notes from this past Acumatica Summit. Well, here, let's just grab, let me just show you what I'm looking at here. So, all right, so this is from the Acumatica Summit just a few months ago in Seattle. And Mitten showed the latest AI assistant, did say that it was available out of the box in 2026 R1. We've already seen this. Zoom in a little bit. Oh, yeah, there's the profitable prompt that worked for Arlene. Let me try that exact prompt. Show me 5 most profitable items. Please show me 5 most profitable items. Yeah, we'll stick with that. All right, so while that's thinking, first it shows the list of items. Can I have multiple chats going here? Maybe. Can I have multiple chat windows open? So far, so good. Let's see what happens there. Let's see the chart, the data in a pivot table. Oh yeah, he did show the pivot table part. I remember that. Yep, showed that. Oh yeah, okay. So details on the order. I haven't tried that. That's interesting. So give me details on a specific transaction. Test that. Shipment detail on a specific order. So what I was checking to see is if he mentioned that they're using Claude. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. But yeah, he did show the MCP server, and that's more interesting to me. Like so far, I'm just not sold. In addition to like the structure of an ERP database, I'm also not sold on wanting to have all these different chat bots and different apps. I know that, something like Acumatica, the ERP is something people are living in. And so maybe that's why it makes sense. But for me personally, yeah, I'd rather be doing something like Claude or ChatGPT over an MCP server, because then I'm on the latest LLM. I don't know. It just makes more sense to me, gut feel. But he did show that. But he didn't mention that it was Claude on the back end of the chat bot. Looks like that's what I was double checking. But the AI assistant itself is saying that it's using Anthropic Claude. So it makes sense. It's not surprising at all. Well, it looks like you can. So I did multiple chat windows open. Looks like it handled that okay. So that's nice, especially because it takes a while for these things to respond. Yeah, it doesn't do the 5 most profitable items. So there must be something going on with my security or something in this particular environment. You know what it also could have to do with? It could have to do with this being like an upgraded environment instead of a brand new from scratch 2026 R1. Huh. Yeah. All right. Well, that's still, I was already kind of off of lost interest in the data analysis side, at least for now. Let's see if I can access the wiki. Can you access the wiki? Wiki articles. Access my Acumatica wiki articles. Let's try that. I might do another data analysis one. So let's see. I'm curious to just check if the row level security kicks in. So let's see what actually worked. 10 most recent open invoices. And if I were to make row level security kick in and remove access to one of those customers, let's see what happens. First, let's make sure we get the same results a second time. Oh, no wiki articles, huh? Interesting. Well, I wonder if if you could make them available with a generic inquiry. I don't think you'll be able to see all the data in there. That's a bummer. I actually kind of like that use case even more than the data use case. Interesting. Okay. All right, so we did get a similar query back both times. Maybe let's see if I can remove Bank of America from my security. So row level security, customer access. Okay, so we're getting back Bartending School, ABC Studios. Let's check those off. ABC Studios. And then let's put in my user. And let's go see what happens with the customer list. Did I not activate it? Yeah, I activated it. I can never remember how these things work. Let's see. Okay, 116 versus, what's this? 121. Okay, so I was able to remove it with a inverse. All right, let's try this. All right, so I had 121 customers. Now I can only see 116 customers. And some of those customers, like the Bartending School, ABC Studios, that should disappear from my list. So let's try a new chat. See what happens. Oh, interesting. So it still came back with USA Bartending School, even though I don't have access to that customer anymore, which does make me think there's some data caching going on. I mean, that I don't know exactly how that works, but I was kind of already thinking there was anyways. All right. What else can this thing do for me? What kinds of things can you do for me? What kinds of things can you do for me? So yeah, as this is executing, I could see how, once they get some of these initial buggy things worked out, I could see how someone who's not really using Claude or ChatGPT or another LLM somewhere else, this gives them something. But I think for me personally, I'm probably going to be more interested in the MCP server, but still interesting to tinker with it. So what can it do? Yeah, it's coming back and just talking about mainly data analysis type stuff. Summarize data by category. Yeah, interesting. Let's try this one. Oh, so it did say it was using Claude on the back end, but which specific version? Which specific version of Claude? Also be interesting to see if it shows us in the license monitoring console our token usage. All right, doesn't know what version of Claude. How do I know how many tokens I've used so far? We'll let that think. So license monitoring, I didn't see anything in here token-wise. We do have the anomaly detection in there. This is a tricky thing for any application right now because they want to serve up this functionality, but yeah, monitoring the token usage and dealing with the billing of that's got to be a headache. Yeah, it doesn't actually say the token usage. Interesting. But first version, so yeah, that's okay. Not surprised. Ooh, I can make it bigger. That's kind of nice. I thought I'd try asking if we can search the web because I've seen some people basically sort of take advantage of the unlimited tokens in a particular app because they're not paying for it by like getting it to do things outside of it. But knowing Acumatica, they probably lock this thing down pretty good. Yeah, okay. All right, well, I think that's it for my unboxing of the AI assistant. Again, it was the first time that I personally had gotten access to it. Just got it this past week, and I thought it'd be fun to hit record while I tinker with it. Not a polished episode by any means, but at least you, I don't know, maybe got something out of it. And we'll see how this thing evolves over time and what kind of audience it ends up adopting and what kind of cool things people do with it. So if you made it this far, thanks for attending, and I will catch you next time.